It's time for some budget meals. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. I have got 3 super easy and delicious budget meals to share with you guys in today's video. Now today's video is going to look a little different for 2 reasons. Number 1, it is a collaboration with my girl Kat over at Southern Farming Kitchen. Y'all already know how much I love her. She is one of my YouTube besties. We thought that we would get together and share budget meals that we didn't know were budget meals from our childhood. We thought that this would be really fun to kind of share with you guys and to share the difference between houses. And so I'm really excited. I will have her channel link and her video linked in the description box below. So when you're done with my video, make sure you check out her channel and her video and see what she's making, what her budget meals are from her childhood. Like I said, we thought that this would be fun and something different. We all need budget meals right now. We're all struggling with inflation and everything, just trying to feed our families. So I thought that this would be a fun spin on it, because as a kid, unless your parents just come out and say, hey, we have to have a budget meal, you're not gonna know. And so these meals that I'm sharing in today's video, I didn't know were budget meals until I grew up. Because you know, my mom didn't say, hey, we're having a budget meal. She just cooked dinner and we ate what was there. So I'm sharing 3 meals with you guys today that I remember eating as a kid that are budget meals that I didn't know were budget meals. So let's go ahead and get cooking, and I really hope you guys enjoy today's video. First up, we're gonna do some pizza roll-ups. I remember having these all the time as a kid, and they are so good. And I didn't realize that they were a budget meal, and they are super cheap. So I have got 2 packages of pizza crust. Of course, this is gonna be your cheapest option. You can use the refrigerated dough, but doing this and just adding water in is gonna be super cheap. These have gone up with inflation, but this is still the cheapest option versus buying the, like I said, the refrigerated dough. And then you need some cheese. I'm just gonna use this 8-ounce block of mozzarella. I might not add all of it. We'll just kind of see how it goes. But buying the blocks of cheese like this, and by the time you shred it, it's honestly the same amount if you would buy one of the smaller bags at Walmart, and this is still a cheaper price. And then you need either pizza sauce or pasta sauce. I normally get the tomato, basil, garlic. That's our personal favorite. Now, when I first started doing these budget meal videos, these were 88 cents, y'all. They have now gone up to almost $1.50. So if you were on a really tight budget, you can get a little jar of tomato sauce and then just add in some seasoning that you have in your pantry. You can add Italian seasoning, garlic powder, and all that. So if you are on a super tight budget, that would be a cheaper option than buying this. But this is something I keep on hand. So for me, you know, I already have it here. And then for some add-ins, you can add in whatever pizza toppings you like. I have pepperonis in my fridge, so I'm going to use these. So for me, these are considered a free add-in because these were just extra from when we made homemade pizzas. And then Winston asked for black olives, so of course we're going to add some black olives. Winston and I both love black olives, but this is one of the things that you can customize and add whatever pizza toppings that you like. You can do vegetables, literally anything. You just put it all on there, roll it up, and bake it in the oven. We're just going to go ahead and mix the pizza crust up according to package directions. I did add in some garlic powder and some Italian seasoning. That's just going to give you some extra flavor. If you have a well-stocked season cabinet, use it to your advantage. So I thought I would show you how much cheese I ended up getting out of that whole block. This is definitely about 2 cups of cheese. So you're gonna save at least $1, if not more, depending on the prices in your area, on buying the blocks of cheese and shredding them yourself versus buying the already pre-shredded cheese. This is definitely more bang for your buck. Now, yes, I buy shredded cheese way more often than I do block cheese just because of convenience. But if you're on an extreme budget, definitely look into buying the blocks of cheese. Now we're gonna make our pizza roll up. Just take and press the crust out. I just like to do it on the same pan. That way I don't have to worry about cleaning up a mess and dirtying up more dishes. And then you're just gonna put a little sauce on, because my mom always served sauce on the side so we could dip it in it. And so you just add a little sauce and then add in your cheese, and then you just add in whatever toppings you want or whatever you have on hand. And then you're just going to roll it up like a cinnamon roll from one end to the other. Just kind of take it slow so that way it doesn't rip. As you've seen, mine started ripping, which I did get my crust a little thinner than normal. So you can just do it a little thicker, and that way it won't rip. And then you just want to make sure that it is seam side down, and tuck in your edges so that way the cheese doesn't run out. I just baked this at 400 for about 15 to 20 minutes. Just want a nice golden brown and make sure it's cooked all the way through. Here's what it looks like when it's all done. As you've seen, where I had the holes, it did kind of bust out a little bit. And then you just slice it up and serve it with your sauce on the side. And then we had some watermelon in the fridge, so we just served it along with that. This was definitely one of my favorites as a kid, and Winston, when he ate it, he was like, "Mom, this is so good," and he ate a ton of it. And so, you know, it's funny because with it being a budget meal when you're a kid, you really don't know. This morning we are going to make some eggs on a shingle. This is something that I remember my mom making all the time when I was a kid. And I asked her about it, and she said her granny made it for her. So it's been in the family, making it for years. So my mom always did lunch meat. I'll have a picture on the screen of what kind she used. She told me that it was the little thin packs that were like 50 to like 60 cents, the little like 2-ounce packs. I had this in my freezer, so I pulled it out. I'm going to use some of that for today. But of course, if you need a cheaper option, then go with the smaller packs like she used. And then, of course, the traditional shingle is like a homemade gravy. So like with your butter, your flour, and your milk, you know what I'm saying, with seasonings. But to help with your budget, and in case you don't keep milk or flour on hand, pick up 1 or 2 of these country gravy mixes. I'm only making this for me because Winston and I are the only ones here for breakfast, and he doesn't like ham. So I am only making this for myself. This will probably feed about 2 people though, 1 pack. So of course you adjust it to how many people you're feeding. But if you don't keep flour on hand and you don't have the options to make the homemade gravy, of course these are going to be cheaper buying a few of these. And it's already got packed full of flavor, and all you need is water. So this is also a cheap option. And then of course just get you some cheap bread. So let's put this together. This is going to be super easy since we're using this packet. I love keeping these gravy packets on hand because they are super cheap and you're able to have them and throw them into budget meals. So you're just going to follow the directions on the back of the package with the water and mix it up. And then once it starts to thicken, then we will add in our ham. I went ahead and added in my diced up ham, and I'm just going to give it a mix and combine it all, and then I'm going to go ahead and make my toast. Here's what it looks like when it's all done. This was so good. I had not had this in so long. I definitely need to fix this more often. Not only is it a budget meal, but it literally took like not even 10 minutes to put together. With having that packet of gravy, it made it super quick and delicious. I know a traditional version of this is made with chipped beef, so you can do that, which you can find that in the shelf-stable meat section of your grocery store. But like I said, she always did it with lunch meat, and that may have just been like a personal preference, but it was also a really cheap option. Okay, for our last childhood budget meal, we're gonna do some smoked sausage with peppers and onions and rice. I always remember her making this. Even like on Sundays when we would come home from church, this was one of those ones that was really easy to throw together and be able to not eat, save money, not eat out after church and come home and eat. Another one I wanted to mention as well that she always did was we would go to the farmer's market on the weekends and we would get fresh vegetables and we would come home and have that for lunch. But for the sake of the video, when it's coming out, I wasn't able to get to the farmer's market. But that is another one that, she always did, is just did vegetables. And it was really good. So for this one, you need some bell pepper. I have been struggling finding fresh bell pepper that's decent in the store. So my sister-in-law gave us a bunch, and all I did was just cut them up and freeze it. So that way I can pull as much out as I need. So I'm going to use some of that. I'm going to use some onion. And then I just thawed out this pack of smoked sausage. This is the kielbasa. And then I'm just going to use minute rice. And I just cook that according to package directions. It's just equal parts, and I put it in the microwave. It's super easy. But this is one of those ones that is super easy to put together, and it's filling. We're going to go ahead and get started by cooking up our peppers and onions, and then we will add in our smoked sausage. I am going to add in some salt and pepper just to give it some extra love. It's not necessarily needed because you do get a lot of flavor from the peppers and onions, but if you do have seasoning, use them to your advantage and add some more flavor to your food. And then I'm just going to cook up the rice according to package directions. I do always get questions about my microwavable bowl, and that came from Pampered Chef. I've had it for years. I don't know if they still have the same version, but just look up pamperedchef.com and maybe y'all can find one. Here's what everything looks like when it is all done. I remember having this so many times as a kid. It was so easy. And it was really good, and I did not realize that it was a budget meal, which that was the whole point of this video, was to share meals with you guys that I had as a kid, and I didn't know were budget meals because they were delicious. And here's my bowl, and this is definitely one of my favorites. And that's it, guys. That wraps up today's video. I really hope you enjoyed these 3 super easy and delicious budget meals from my childhood. And make sure you go check out Kat's video and see what she's making. I know it's going to be delicious. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.